Hey y'all, welcome back. So it's your girl Anna. Welcome if you're new. If you've been here before, what up, mi gente? So I'm so excited. We are doing this series of 35 promises by the end of the year. I chose 35 because I'll be 35 in a few weeks, few days, on the 28th of November. Usually my birthday is like, I hype it up a lot, and I'll talk more about this, but I hype it up and I make it a big deal. Ooh, I wasn't gonna talk about this, but um, my birthday has always been, and I guess it's connected to the promise I'm gonna share. But my birthday has always been kind of a sad time. I hype it up to kind of try to get myself hyped up, but I have felt very um, forgotten in the past on my birthday, and I could never identify it. And so this particular birthday, I decided to shift it, and I decided to partner with God. And so, I think this is part of it, is sharing these promises of what God has done for me. Really helps me focus on what he's done for me all of my life, and the way he's kept me, the way he's been so faithful over my life, but also in what I love doing most, which is serving. I made my birthday sort of about me in the past, which most people do, but it left me feeling eh, you know what I mean? And the greatest form of getting out of a funk or getting outside of yourself is to just serve. So me sharing my promises is really for me, but it's also for y'all, because I really want to encourage you all. And so that's why I can't even remember, not to mention I don't even know what day it is, because such has been life, right? But I have shifted the focus to focus on the promise keeper, and to focus on the people and serving y'all. Not that I wasn't focused before, but really on a whole different level now. But so my second promise that I'm sharing is how God has been my mother and my father. And, you know, my story and upbringing gets real complicated and sensitive for a lot of people. My mom had me when she was like 43. She found out she was pregnant with me when she was 43 years old. And she wasn't with my bio dad. And so I'm careful to say that how I say that now, because before I would say, my bio dad abandoned me. And as I've done more digging, um, there's two parties involved, right? Only they know, and God, what happened, right? Because before, I would just be like, he abandoned me. I'm the youngest of 13. So, you know, some are from my mother's side, some are from my bio dad's side, and everybody has their version. And ultimately, I really felt like it didn't matter, because I had to come to a place where it didn't even matter. I forgave both of them for whatever, right? I had to release that. Um, but before I talk about how I had to release them, my mother found out she was pregnant with me at 43. She had already had four children who were grown. And she sat at her steps and cried and said she didn't want me. So, she didn't realize that, but I grew up with a lot of, rejection, because babies feel that. Whatever the mother feels, the child feels it already in the womb. And so that was already planted in me, of that rejection and feeling unwanted. And then my bio dad not being around for whatever reason. A lot of people try to justify, oh, your dad, your mom. It doesn't matter. Yes, they're human and they make mistakes, but what matters most is what that seed that was planted. I really felt unwanted, rejected, and forgotten about from birth. You know what I mean? And even though, I like who I call my dad that raised me, took me in at a few months old, God bless his soul, I still couldn't help but feel what I felt. And so, I didn't meet my bio dad until the day before he passed. I was like 16 years old, and I had so much hate in my heart, because I was really angry. I was a young girl who needed to know why he didn't want me. That's all I wanted to know. Why didn't you want me? What was so bad about me? Why wasn't I enough that you wanted me? You know what I mean? And I had all these questions and all these things. And, all I remember is seeing him the way he was the day before he passed. And he couldn't move, but I promise you, he held my hand. It's like he was waiting for me. And in that moment, I released part of it. I was 16 years old. I released part of it, part of the load and the heaviness that I had been feeling for so long and the hatred. And over the years, you know, really stepping into forgiveness because it's so hard, not having answers for so long and not knowing why. But I had to release me wanting to know. Whatever the answers were, it didn't matter. Whatever the story was, our parents did the best they could with what they knew. You know what I mean? I truly believe that. And a lot of people, say that because our therapists have told us that, right? It's powerful. And it helps you release a load, but then allowing God to just heal every wound, every mother and father wound that you have, because a lot of what we grow up with and how we interact in our relationships with other people and how we fight to be accepted and all these different things mostly come from our relationship with our parents. And I'm so grateful because I have done a lot of things trying to be accepted and trying to be wanted and try to fit in because I struggled with my identity. I struggled with being enough because of those parental issues. But yet, God has been so faithful to be my father and my mother, to be there for me when I felt like, I just needed like encouragement and love, and to know that I am loved and to know that I am worthy. And every single struggle I've had and every limiting belief, he has just been there and filled my soul every single time and continues to do so, right? I'm at the other side where now my parents are now older. My bio dad passed, God rest his soul. My mom is, she suffered several strokes in 2020, and man, God is so faithful. And that's another one of the promises, is that she's doing better, but she's not fully there mind wise. And so sometimes she recognizes me, other times she doesn't. And then, my dad, struggles as well. And so it's hard now because you get to a place where you kind of have to parent your parents. But it's hard because you still, sometimes that comes up for you. You know what I mean? It's like all the issues when the wounds don't fully heal, that when you get to this place, now these issues are coming back up again. And I'm grateful that God has been, continues to be just my father, my Abba father. Don't ruin my moment. But he continues to be my Abba Father. And just me learning to be his daughter. Like this relationship that we've gotten into this place, right? Because I would seek God for all these answers, and I would seek God for, and I didn't know any better. It was like almost like he was a genie. Can I get this? Can I get that? Father, you said. And listen, we have power and we have authority, and we are his children, and he loves us and he wants to bless us, but we are his children, and sometimes he just wants to love on us. And so as I continue to grow into being his daughter and just sitting at his feet and letting him love me and accepting his love, man, it's just powerful that he's been that for me, and more. You know what I mean? And so my promise number two is just that he is my Abba Father, and he's been so faithful to be there for me, to be my absolute everything, to be my rock and my foundation, and to be my father, my mother, everything I've needed him to be, and more. So that's my second promise, y'all. I'm so excited. I know I say that a lot, but I am. When I'm excited about something, I'm so excited. And and this is like part of the shift that's happening for me, as the past few, days, weeks, or whatever, of writing these promises and reflecting on these promises, is that no matter what is happening, when you sit down to think about your life and think about how good God is and how faithful he is and just how magnificent he is, like you can't help but just relish on how You're so dope, Father. You're so amazing. And so I hope you all are enjoying the journey with me. And I hope you continue to come back because we'll be back with 3, 4, 5 as we end the year on focusing on God's promises. I'll see you in the next video, y'all. I love y'all. Make sure you share with someone so that we can be in on this together, so that we can just brag on God. Let's just brag on God and how dope He is, y'all. So make sure you subscribe and you hit the little alert thing and you share with someone. I love y'all. Bye.